what's going on with Arsenal then? They haven't made any... Have they made any transfers? Have they signed Kepa? Like, I must say, from a distance, it seems that Arsenal are not doing much at the moment. And certainly, Arsenal fans are getting a little bit impatient, irate, understandably, to be fair. And they need a striker. They need a left winger. They're just sort of talking about Rodrigo of Real Madrid, but he might stay if he's like gets on with Xabi Alonso. It's all a bit tricky, mate. But one thing's for sure, they do need a centre forward, and of course they've been heavily linked to the likes of Victor Gyokeres. We're going to speak about that today, what's going on with him, because it seems very dramatic with all the stuff with Sporting. I'm a bit confused, because obviously the dream target for them, like everyone else, is Alexander Isak, seemingly unobtainable. So I thought they were going to get Seško, because like Isak, Seško was a Mikel Arteta target, a player that he wanted. Now, Victor Gyokeres scored loads of goals in Portugal. He is more of a Berta target, who is the new Arsenal sporting director. And it's been very dramatic. He wants to leave. And there's a threat, apparently. We're going to learn about that today and speak about it. But there's not been much movement with Arsenal. And I don't know, like, it's so difficult from the outside looking in. Obviously, I'm not an Arsenal fan. Because they've been consistently pretty good. You know, they've been consistently like a really solid and good team for the last 2 or 3 years. And that is huge in itself. But there's almost this like psychological barrier, this ceiling they need to smash through to just win trophies and be elite. And prove that, yeah, we're not just this like, you know, final boss bridesmaid that will always finish second no matter what. That, no, we will, you know, challenge for titles, for the Premier League titles, but we will win trophies alongside it as well. And I suppose you need an elite striker for that. I do find it fascinating personally. Also with the likes of someone like, Kai Havertz, who they spent a lot of money on, who's on significant wages at Arsenal. And what happens, who's a very talented player. I'm not one of these Chelsea fans who try and, pretend otherwise. But he's a difficult player to work out. I do think Mikel Arteta on Havertz has sort of done what, Chelsea managers have done and thrown in the towel a little bit. And just tried to play him as a centre forward after this, this like dream idea of playing him as this sort of number 8, number 10 half space attacker that unlocks defences and demonstrates his immense instinctive ability. Fades away, Anyway, well, we're gonna speak about Gyokeres and Arsenal. Welcome back to the channel, Football Yannick. How you doing? You okay? Good. Oh, that's good to hear. Bad. I'm sorry to hear that. There we go. That's all bases covered. Yeah, man, sorry I didn't upload it yesterday, because usually I upload every single day on this channel, sometimes multiple times every single day. I'm very grateful for the support I've had in the recent couple of months. I'm on 18,238 subscribers at time of recording, which I think is excellent. I'm very grateful for that. I do think a realistic target is over 20,000 for this summer. Especially considering there's daily uploads. So thank you for joining me and thank you for liking and subscribing. Now look, for context on Victor Gyokeres, I'll be citing an article from The Standard. Again, I've got a big spot on the side of my head. The sniper's going to get me, mate. Too much junk food. So I'm going to be citing this article by a chap called Matt Very today because I wanted to learn with you together, as good friends, about the situation with Victor Gyokeres. In Arsenal generally, because it's so peculiar, because I've got a few Gooner mates, and some of them are frustrated with Arteta, some of them are very grateful. I think looking from out from in, you've got the first couple of years were very turbulent, but he's just turned them into a consistently very respectable team, which is commendable, but you want to win trophies, right? And also, Arteta has not been synonymous with exciting success in the transfer market. Certainly, this is what I'm getting from Arsenal fans. So, with that, you want some big names to come through, some big characters, some players that want to win trophies, that are used to winning trophies. It's their muscle memory, and indeed score a lot of goals. So Matt Very writes this: Victor Gyokeres has made his latest attempt to force through a summer move to Arsenal. I sorry, I realise I'm waffling a little bit here. But I do think the Gyokeres situation is fascinating as well. I did a video on it a few days ago about, is there something fishy about him? Because he scored so many goals. He's desperate to leave, apparently. And there's not like this sort of weird, well, not weird. There's not a transfer, like, bidding war for him. He's sort of being left alone a little bit by many clubs. So I wonder if there are a lot of scouts, footballing hierarchies that look at him and go, yeah, he scored a lot of goals for, Sporting in the Portuguese league, and for your country and in the Champions League, but still you're not for us. It would seem. He scored 54 goals in all competitions for Sporting last season, which is mental. Like, that is insane. That's wicked. 54 freaking goals, bro. And a move away from the Portuguese club this summer has felt inevitable. So Man United were believed to have an interest in him, who worked under Ruben Amorim at Sporting, but it is Arsenal who have moved into pole position to sign the Swedish striker. Again, worth mentioning here, I mean, yeah, he's worked with Amorim. That might be alluring because Amorim seemingly has the keys to his high performance. But yeah, Man United. I mean, I don't want to be too derogatory towards United because they're seemingly signing exciting players, and I don't think Amorim's a bad coach or anything. So there could be good times ahead for them. We'll see. But for us rival fans, hopefully not. The Gunners are also keen on the aforementioned Benjamin Sesko, but recent reports suggest that the wage demands have proved a problem with the RB Leipzig forward. That's really interesting. That Benjamin Sesko, the young player who's never really exploded in terms of numbers, is demanding more money than Victor Gyokeres. I know the Portuguese league will probably pay less than the German league, but still. When you're that young, demanding that crazy wages, mental, really. Gyokeres has therefore emerged as a top target again. And the Portuguese outlet record again. So the records come up recently for content creators. I think Mark Goldbridge of the United Stand highlighted this, saying that record is not the most... Why I'm citing him as some sort of reputable news source, I don't know, but here we are. That record's not the most reliable news outlet in Portugal. Has called Sporting president Frederico Varandas to demand he is sold. So Gyokeres is demanding he's sold. Yeah. It's claimed Gyokeres told Varandas that he has given his all and he should be allowed to leave for Arsenal. And has urged the club to accept a fee of 60 million euros plus 10 million add-ons, 70 million euros. I'm going to have to Google this. That is just basically 60 million quid. 60 million quid. It's fair enough, isn't it? Isn't that fine? That seems fine. Right? Gyokeres is said to be desperate to join Arsenal. Probably because it's a big club and seemingly his only option at the moment. Look, Arsenal are a great sporting project, yada yada yada. I just find it like fascinating that this guy scored all these goals. Yeah, Chelsea, were disinterested. Liverpool, who won a striker, champions of the Premier League, not looking at him. Man City, of course, they've got Haaland or whatever. But Barcelona, Lewandowski's very very old. Not giving him a whiff, not interested at all. And he's running hot in terms of Portuguese goals. He could be amazing, but I'm just a friggin' football fan looking from afar, but I find it very peculiar how there's not more interest in him. So I'm not surprised why he's desperate to join Arsenal. And he warned the sporting director, God, this is needlessly dramatic. Well, maybe, it's his career, so I should probably take it more seriously. But he's warned the sporting director that he would... he will never forgive him if they delay... if they don't sell him, basically. Or even if they delay it. I will never forgive you. I don't think the sporting director cares when 60 million boys is on it, mate. He's like, I don't care what you think. You can never forgive me if you want, mate. 60 million quid. You know, you can have all the tantrums you want. Certainly to delay it, at least. He made it clear that he's no intention of... Oh, wow, so this is genuinely... This is like Thibaut Courtois at Chelsea vibes going on strike. He made it clear he has no intention of returning to the club for the new season. Wow. I mean, that is hella dramatic. Genuinely. Because there is like, I'll never forgive you, and then just being really like grumpy on the friggin' training ground. But to say like, I've got no intention of... My head's not in it at all. Like, proper, like, full on, like, this is bollocks, mate. I'm not, you know, it's done. It's done. Tell me. Very dramatic. It's not the first time this summer that the Sporting president has been dragged into this transfer saga after reports emerged that Gyokeres and Sporting supposedly had an agreement that the club would allow him to leave for 60 plus 10. Apparently there was this gentleman's agreement that many of you may have heard of, and he said they should know me better by now, the Sporting director Veranda said. Threats, blackmail, and insults do not work with me, and I can guarantee one thing. Victor will not leave for 60 plus 10. I never promised this. Dramatic. It's like a film, isn't it? Or some sort of dramatic television show. With this game that the agent is playing, Gyokeres' agent, the situation is only getting worse. He's making it worse. It's his fault. To date, Sporting have not had an offer for Victor Gyokeres. Not today or last summer. Wow. So it is dramatic. It's player, agent, club. I mean, seemingly, Arsenal are the ones that are not being... I mean, if they haven't made a formal bid yet, they don't look silly here. It's all like internalized over in Portugal and Sporting. Them sort of arguing amongst themselves. Embarrassingly, too, I must say, from my opinion. Right. Well, what can we say about this? Arsenal fans would be certainly very excited to sign him, purely because they've needed a striker for ages. Gabriel Jesus, although he, early doors, he seemed like quite a revelation, didn't he? He was expensive, though. He's on significant wages at Arsenal, but he's never really, like, I think he exploded onto the scene, but never really, popped off, like, for a sustained period. I think he's a good player. He can operate out wide, yada, 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 but they still never really got their talismanic forward. Of course, Kai Havertz, Mikel Merino did a job and had a wonderful purple patch and like a cult hero purple patch for Arsenal without the trophies. Sorry, but he scored goals, high profile goals. He really did a good job for them. But they need that striker. Like, they needed a central defensive midfielder for so long, and of course they signed Declan Rice for a lot of money, only to learn that Declan Rice is better operating further up the field, which is fine. That's like an evolution thing, and he's an amazing footballer, Declan Rice, like sensational, on and off the pitch, character, supreme, all that, and proven to be an excellent signing. What else? They've got an amazing defence. Looks like Thomas Partey will go. There's other controversial stories regarding him that I won't touch. And they'll probably need another CDM because, of course, Jorginho has gone to Flamengo to slap up my mob, Chelsea, in the Club World Cup, sadly. Very interesting. Arsenal need to do business, don't they? It would seem so. Like Martinelli, as exciting as he is at times, I feel like they could massively do with an upgrade on that flank. Especially with Saka being so amazing on the other side. He just makes that side look way worse. Like left winger and the striker, and you can understand why Arsenal fans are frustrated with the lack of movement in the market thus far. But let me know what you think. Press the button. Let me know what you think. Please do leave your thoughts, feelings, opinions, musings down in the comments section. Sorry, I'm melting behind these studio lights. I'd be very keen to hear the thoughts of you guys. Thank you for supporting the content as always, for liking and subscribing. Daily content apart from yesterday, daily content here, of course. So keep it locked. I hope to see you back soon. Take care of yourselves. Peace.